One of the most important new books is by one of this country's leading economists offering solutions to this threat. Pat Choate is the author of the book, Dangerous Business, The Risks of Globalization for America. And Pat Choate joins us here now. Pat, good to have you with us.
Good being with you.
Let's start with the discussion that John McCain wants to be the biggest free trader of them all here, as he declared in the primaries. With 32 consecutive years of trade deficits, a $6.5 trillion trade debt, why is there any discussion at all about the failed policies of this administration and previous administrations?
I do not understand it. And moreover, when one takes a look at the American people get it. 77% of the American people oppose the economic policies of President Bush. Those are these globalization policies that John McCain is endorsing. Now, part of the problem is the Democrats are not really doing their job in making the economy the issue that it should be. When you take a look at polls, one finds very quickly that economy, trade, and jobs are the thing that the American people are most concerned about. The Democrats have not yet laid out what their program should be. I do not think that Barack Obama has a real chance at the presidency unless he tells the American people what he's going to do about trade, what he's going to do about jobs, what he is going to do about these massive trade deficits that we have.
Well, we've got McCain traveling to Canada, for crying out loud, down to Mexico to talk about his position on NAFTA and international trade, which is about as repugnant an approach as you could have taken. And these are all politicians. He's looking at the polls, too. But just looking at the facts, the debt, the 3 million lost jobs, nearly 1 million jobs lost just as a result directly of NAFTA.
Well, and then you move to the health issue, for example. You were talking earlier in the program about the importation of the bad jalapenos from Mexico. We now wind up with 75 million people a year get sick of tainted food. 350,000 go to the hospital and 5,000 die. That's a direct result of globalization and trade policies where we've cut the FDA inspections, where we can no longer guarantee the safety of our food supply. We find in the military that we're unable to supply out of our own domestic suppliers the weapons and the components that we need, even for these limited wars that we're fighting.
And you're including that ammunition, for crying out loud, conventional ammunition.
Well,
not fancy.
In 2004, we were running out of ammunition. We literally had to do emergency contracts with England and Israel to get it. We have a supply policy that says we're going to stockpile enough for a war. We've been in this war longer than World War II. It's a limited war. We can't even supply the ammo.
Some of these policies that are being pursued here, they border on the dangerously stupid, don't they?
Yes, they do. Almost malfeasance, almost criminal malfeasance, if you want to get down to it. But both candidates are still trapped with advisors who are elite opinion, and elite opinion is for unfettered globalization. They've got to break away from that.
And, you know, Democratic do-nothing Congress, the worst approval rating in history, following a Republican-led Congress that had the worst approval rating.
Well, I think what's going to happen is this is a circumstance where the American people are going to have to lead, where the American people are flat out demanding a different trade policy. That's what it's going to take. But let's say this. We, as a country, can come back. We are not necessarily being forced to liquidate our economy.
Even though foreign ownership, sovereign wealth funds, and foreign direct investment now, just about a quarter of the economy. But we'll talk about that the next time. How about that? And we'll hear what Pat Choate says. I would like you to come back if you can soon, maybe
Look forward to
next week or two, and talk about those solutions. Critically important. Maybe McCain and Obama will listen.
Hopefully.
Thank you, Pat Choate. The book is Dangerous Business. I can't recommend it too highly.